Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only animation legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with the next part of what if Naruto was neglected by his family reborn, refused to give up his chakra to Menma. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous part of the series, and if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. You guys will definitely like it. And yeah, guys, before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel, or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be very helpful to me, as I want to reach 30k subscribers on this channel, and you guys subscribing would be really appreciated. So please guys do so. So without any further ado, let us start the video. Last time we left off as we saw that Minato and Tadokage decided to spread rumors against Naruto within Konoha, and the people of Konoha decided to accept those rumors and even embrace them as the rumors started to go more and more wild. But Naruto was not that much worried, as Minato as well as Tadokage wanted to ruin the reputation of Naruto so that they can elevate the reputation of Menma, while on the other hand Jiraiya, Menma, Mito, as well as Sasuke decided to go to save the Kazekage, while on the other hand, Naruto had his own plans. After all, Minato and Tadokage do not control the civilians of Konoha, so if Tadokage as well as Minato really wanted Konoha in chaos, then Naruto will give them even further chaos. First, Naruto told his Jonins to spread rumors against Uchiha clan and reminding all the people of Konoha that it was an Uchiha, the Sharingan more specifically, was the one which controlled the power of Kyuubi all those years ago. People had almost forgotten about it. After all, after the Kyuubi attack, Minato realized that Uchiha clan as well as Fugaku were his support, so he decided to do everything in his power to bring back the Uchiha clan in his inner circle. So he protected the Uchihas afterward. Fugaku and Uchiha clan aligned themselves with Minato, while the third Hokage and Danzo tried to make up some trouble, but Minato was able to protect the Uchiha clan. But now it has really put them in bad situation, as Fugaku was furious as well as panicking at the same time. But the one who was most angry was none other than Minato. Minato was the fourth Hokage, but third Hokage is still alive, so the power of Hokage is divided among them. So Minato has his own faction, that was the Uchiha clan, as well as some other clans who support Minato rather than the third Hokage. That was the basis of the support of the position of fourth Hokage for Minato, and now Naruto has effectively undermined him as the Uchiha clan reputation started to go more and more bad, while on the other hand third Hokage was happy. This way Minato's faction would be weaker and Sarutobi Hiruzen will have more power. But Naruto did not forget about the Sarutobi clan, as Naruto also told people about the downfall of the Senju clan, even spreading rumors that it was Sarutobi Hiruzen who did not want to leave his position, so he got rid of the grandson of the first Hokage. Rumors are now going more and more wild in Konoha. Third Hokage was furious, while many people in Konoha knows that it was the third Hokage who moved against the Senju clan, but these things cannot be said in open, as third Hokage's reputation was going more and more down, as third Hokage was furious about it. So they have to stop all the rumors. Even the rumors against Naruto had to be stopped, otherwise Minato will not be able to explain the situation. So Naruto muddied the water, while on the other hand, Jiraiya as well as Team 7, when finally arrived, they saw the dead body of Gaara, as in this time Pain himself has arrived after he had gotten the information that Jiraiya was coming himself. So Pain decided to intervene in the matter, and just like that, Gaara was already dead. But Naruto had his plan, as he told Temari to bring his kunai to the location, and if anyone asks, tell them that I gave this kunai to you 2 years ago when I had a mission in the Sand Village. As Temari accepted that, so just like that, Naruto finally arrived. Not only he was able to easily kill Deidara and Sasori thanks to the Moketon and his other abilities, and he finally even pushed back Pain, who had to run away only with Devapath. As afterward, Naruto used the Moketan power as well as the power of One Tail, which Naruto inherently possessed, to revive Gaara, as Gaara finally came back to life, as Naruto told Gaara that he was late because Minato had sent his other children, as as Gaara was not exactly happy about it, but he decided to support Naruto. This way, Minato and Third Hokage's plan to have Gaara as well as the Sand Village support Menma was finally fell through. So yeah guys, that was the last part of the series. So if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. Let us start the video from here, as Naruto was sitting in a room in front of him but his subordinates, as Naruto looked towards them. Most of them 3 years ago were only chunins. Most of them had even given up hope to become a jonin in Konoha. But over the years, not only Naruto have brought support from the outside factions like Minato and Third Hokage's faction, as well as the Elder Council, which was getting weaker and weaker by the day. But Naruto has also trained other Chunins and now they have become Jonin as well. Therefore, Naruto's faction has become really powerful enough to even challenge Minato as well as Tadokage's faction combined. But the problem is that the Elder Council has finally realized that the ambitions of Naruto, so they have temporarily aligned themselves with Minato as well as the third Hokage, so they have slight edge against Naruto, but Naruto simply smirk at that. It doesn't matter. Naruto has his own plans. It will not take long for Naruto to finally make his move against Minato as well as the third Hokage. After all, the position of fifth Hokage rightfully belongs to Naruto, as Naruto simply smirk at that, while on the other hand, in Hokage office, Minato was looking towards paperwork as the third Hokage was present there. Suddenly, the door was slammed open as Jiraiya as well as the team finally arrived, as Minato had not yet gotten the information from the Sand village, as Minato looked towards his sensei and his children, as Minato raised an eyebrow at that. Sensei, you're back. Tell me, was the mission a success? As Jiraiya simply sighed at that. Minato, I have a bad news. As Third Hokage finally perked up as he looked towards Jiraiya, Jiraiya explained everything as Jiraiya started to explain. When Minato and Third Hokage heard that, Naruto arrived there as Minato slammed his fist into the table. Sensei, why did Naruto go there? He was not given this mission. He has far overstepped his authority. I will call the Jonin Council to punish Naruto. As Jiraiya simply shook his head at that. It will not work, Minato. As Minato looked towards his sensei, pretty confused, as Jiraiya sighed. It was Temari. She used the flying Thundaga technique kunai to summon Naruto. And they have told us that Naruto gave this kunai 2 years ago. If Naruto did not came, then it would not look good for Konoha itself. So Temari was the current ruler of Suna without Gaara. So therefore, Naruto had to answer her call and he will simply deflect it, and this way we will look petty. As Minato gritted his teeth at that. This was a perfect excuse. No one can say that Naruto overstepped his bounds. After all, those are the allies of Konoha, and Minato cannot openly move against them, as Minato gritted his teeth at that. So tell me, Gaara is dead, right? This way, we still have an opportunity. If I'm not mistaken, Shikamaru has a good relationship with Temari. If Temari were to become the next Kazekage, we can use this relationship to our advantage and make her agree to support Menma instead of Naruto. As Jiraiya simply shook his head at that. It is not that, Minato. Gaara survived. The third Hokage spoke up. How is that even possible, Jiraiya? You say that the One Tail was extracted from Gaara, which means that he should have died. As Jiraiya simply nodded at that and explained the situation, how Naruto stole the chakra of One Tail from Takedomazo, which is some kind of sealing statue which seal away the power of Bijus. When Minato heard that, he gritted his teeth at that. All those years ago, when Kushina had her Nine Tails power extracted, he had used the power of Seal to take away some of the power of Nine Tails and sealed it inside of Kushina. Therefore, she was able to survive. It seemed that Gaara was not truly dead, and Naruto was able to use this method to save the life of Gaara, as Minato gritted his teeth at that. Damn it, Sensei. Our plan has fallen through. This way, Naruto has the support of the Sand Village as well. As Jiraiya simply sighed at that. Minato, do not worry. You are still the Hokage, and our faction is still powerful. I believe that if both of you work together, the third Hokage as well as you, and I believe that the Elder Council must have realized the problem and the ambitions of Naruto. They must support us as well. As long as we safely pass the throne to Menma, everything will be alright. As Minato gritted his teeth at that, honestly, he doesn't want to abdicate just yet. While he still want to pass the throne to Menma, but that would be after a decade or two, as Minato simply shook his head at that. But it seemed that Naruto is pushing him. If things really go that badly, his position of Hokage will not be able to sustain itself for a few years. As Minato gritted his teeth at that, he truly hated Naruto at this point. Why couldn't Naruto make sacrifices just like he was meant to do? Hand over his chakra to Menma so that he can become the child of destiny, save the shinobi world, and bring peace to everyone. This way, everyone would be happy. Why couldn't Naruto understand his earnest efforts? As Minato was truly furious about the situation, the third Hokage looked towards Minato. He still remembered when they was time when people were asking him to abdicate, he himself was not happy as third Hokage. After the third great ninja war, still believed that he can rule for a decade or two, but everyone was asking for the fourth Hokage position even though he happily handed it to Minato, but he still had a lot of resentment in his eyes. After all, he still believed that he can remain as Hokage for decades to come. This was the same situation for Minato. He wanted to pass the throne to Menma, but he doesn't want to pass it just yet. As for Hokage simply shook his head at that. I will talk with Koharu and Hamura as well as Danzo. They will definitely agree with us. As they simply nodded at that as Minato looked towards Jiraiya. Report everything about the leader of the pain in your report. As Jiraiya simply nodded at that and decided to leave finally. While far away in the base of Akatsuki, Pain was standing over the fingers of Gadomazo, as in front of him were all the members of the Akatsuki. Pain had a serious expression on his face as Pain looked towards all the members of Akatsuki. The meeting starts now. As Black Zetsu spoke up, this is all the information we have gathered against Uzumaki Naruto. He's pretty powerful, even able to summon 1000 hand Buddha. That was the ultimate technique of wood style, while in the shadows, Obito Uchiha gritted his teeth at that. He truly hated Naruto. Not only that kid has become this powerful, his power may not be far away from the power of Senju Hashirama. He was still portraying himself as Uchiha Madara. Wouldn't that mean that he's a beaten opponent of Naruto, as he gritted his teeth at that? While on the other hand, Pain looked towards all the members of the Akatsuki. Our plans has changed. Previously, we wanted to capture from one tail to 9 tails, but now Uzumaki Naruto has become too powerful. We must capture the Jinchuriki of 9 tails as soon as possible. Finally, one of the members spoke up, but if I'm not mistaken, it was none other than Shisui. Uzumaki Naruto is not the Jinchuriki of Konoha. As Pain simply shook his head at that. Even if we capture other Bijos, Naruto Uzumaki will definitely intervene in the man in the matter. We must stop him before he stops us. So we have decided that all of the Akatsuki members will attack Konoha. When Shisui heard that, he was taken aback at that. He was an undercover spy of Konoha. He had to give this information to Konoha as soon as possible. But poor Shisui, before he realized it, his body was covered with a black goo, as everyone was taken aback at that, especially Shisui. He couldn't believe it. This was the Black Zetsu who decided to take over the body of Shisui. My dear Shisui, perhaps you do not know. We, the Akatsuki, already know that you are a hidden undercover of Konoha. We knew all along. We just wanted to use your strength, and now your usefulness has come to an end. As Shisui could not control his body, as Pain simply looked towards this whole deal and decided to look away. It doesn't matter to him. Shisui had good strength as a cage level fighter, but he already knew that Shisui simply didn't have it in himself to betray Konoha. He was far too transparent, as Pain simply shook his head at that. So, we will start your preparations. We are gonna attack Konoha in 3 days. After that, all the members of the Akatsuki decided to prepare, while on the other hand, Pain decided to go back to his original body. Suddenly, a whirlpool appeared in mid-air, and from it, Obito Uchiha finally arrived. As Pain looked towards Obito, come with me. As Pain also started to walk towards the hidden chamber. In the hidden chamber was Conan as well as Nagato. As Nagato looked towards Obito, as Obito was still portraying himself as Uchiha Madara, as Nagato simply shook his head at that. Honestly, he doesn't believe that this clone is Uchiha Madara. After all, from the information he had gathered, Uchiha Madara was quite proudful. He will not hide his face just like that, and the strength of the masked man doesn't fit the criteria of Uchiha Madara, who was once a rival to Senju Hashirama. He has seen the power of Naruto, how easily he overpowered him even with the Rinnegan. Even the planetary devastation was unable to do anything to Naruto, which means that this Uchiha Madara is definitely a fake, but he is still useful to him. As Nagato finally spoke up, I want you to do something for me. As Obito raised an eyebrow at that. What do you want from me, Nagato? We have already made plans to attack Konoha. As Nagato spoke up, my power is quite restricted, even though I can use the other path of Pain to use the power of the Rinnegan, but I am the only one who can truly control the power of the Rinnegan. I want you to heal my legs. When Conan heard that, she was taken aback at that. As Obito's eyes narrowed at that, he had purposely not let the legs of Nagato heal. themselves. Otherwise, he had plenty of means to make Nagato healthy again, but he didn't want it that. He wanted the Rinnegan for himself. He didn't want it to follow the plan of Uchiha Madara and revive him. No, he wanted the Rinnegan for himself, and he wants to become the next Ten-Tails Jinchuriki and use the power of the Ten-Tails to cast Infinite Tsukiyomi. As Obito looked towards Nagato. As before Obito can refuse, Nagato spoke up. I already have examined White Zetsu, and your body also have the cells of White Zetsu. I know that White Zetsu had the ability to heal me, so I want you to do that. You already know the power of Konoha. Even without Uzumaki Naruto, they still have two Sanins. The third Hokage is still alive, as well as Minato Namikaze, who is the fourth Hokage. Do not underestimate the strength of Konoha. If I cannot use all of my strength, we will not be able to capture the Nine-Tails Jinchurikis that easily. As Obito was silenced at that, he doesn't want to fight Minato Namikaze. All those years ago, he had a good beating. On top of that, Minato must have also realized his problems, and Naruto must have reported his weaknesses to Konoha as well. As Obito gritted his teeth at that, his plans are all going wrong. They are capturing Nine Tails. Nine Tails should have been left for last. And now Akatsuki is moving against the Nine Tails. On top of that, once the body of Nagato is healed, he will definitely not hand over the power of the Rinnegan. While Kamui is powerful, but Rinnegan is still Rinnegan. And Obito did not have confidence that he can defeat Nagato, who will definitely be able to find the information on his Kamui in Konoha. As Obito gritted his teeth at that, but he had to agree to it. Otherwise, Nagato will be even more suspicious of him. As Obito simply nodded at that, I will send Black Zetsu with the spare part of White Zetsu. As Nagato simply nodded at that, and just like that, Obito left. As Konan looked towards Nagato, are you sure about it? As Nagato simply nodded at that, he needs us just like we need him. So this is a mutual benefit for both of us. As Konan simply nodded at that. As after some time, White Zetsu finally appeared, and just like that, it merged with the body of Nagato. As Nagato, after years, finally was standing on his feet. The cells of White Zetsu were the cells of first Hokage, diluted version, and just like that, Nagato's power increased rapidly. While on the other hand, in Konoha, the atmosphere was charged as Naruto at the moment was walking towards the Hyuga clan. Hyuga Hinata was the princess of Hyuga clan. On top of that, she was the fiancée of Menma. Naruto was going towards Hyuga clan. This was the information given to Minato. Minato was taken aback at that, wondering why Naruto is going there, as Minato's eyes narrowed at that. After the Uchiha clan, Hyuga clan is the biggest clan, and this was also a basis of support for Minato. The two greatest clan in Konoha support Minato Namikaze as the fourth Hokage. This was the reason even the third Hokage cannot use his authority to overwhelm Minato, and that was the basis of the power of Minato. After all, Fugaku Uchiha was his friend. On top of that, Hyuga Hiyashi would have become a relative in the future, but Minato gave an order to keep an eye on Naruto but decided not to go inside of the Hyuga clan, otherwise it would be disrespectful. As Naruto finally arrived in the Hyuga clan, as Hyuga guards looked towards Naruto warily, as Naruto spoke up, tell Hiyashi Hyuga that I, Uzumaki Naruto, is here to pay a visit. As the guards looked towards each other but nodded nonetheless and decided to go inside. While inside, Hiyashi Hyuga was reading some scrolls as God told him that Uzumaki Naruto is here. As Yashi's eyes narrowed at that, long ago, it was decided that the eldest son of the Uzumaki Namikaze family will marry the eldest daughter of the Hyuga clan. But later, Naruto's whole situation came to mind, and the engagement was later shifted to Menma. Even though Hiyashi respected the strength of Naruto, the power of the Mokitan, the power of the first Hokage, and he had no doubt Naruto will become one of the most powerful shinobi in the shinobi world. But things cannot change. After all, strength alone is not everything. In Konoha, influence is also important. After all, Uchiha Madara was powerful, but the influence of the Senju clan, the second Hokage, was greater than Uchiha Madara, so therefore he was able to become the second Hokage, and Uchiha Madara, even with all of his strength, had to leave Konoha. So Hyuga clan cannot simply cut ties with Hokage and align themselves with Naruto. As Hiyashi looked towards the guard, bring him in. And just like that, after some time, Naruto finally arrived as he decided to take his seat and look towards Hiyashi. As Hiyashi Hyuga looked towards Naruto. Well, Uzumaki Naruto, it has been some time. May I ask you why you are here? As Naruto looked towards Hiyashi with a small smile on his face. You, Hiyashi Hyuga already know the situation in Konoha. It is only a matter of time that Minato Namikaze will be kicked out of the Hokage position. As Hiyashi gritted his teeth at that, there are a lot of interest ties with Minato after becoming the fourth Hokage. He did not suppress the major clans like the third Hokage, and the Hyuga clan had really made great profit thanks to the help of Minato. But now, if Minato is really kicked out of the Hokage position, the Hyuga clan will definitely be in strange position. As long as Menma becomes the future Hokage, everything will be alright. After all, Menma is to become the next son-in-law of Hyuga clan. As Hiyashi looked towards Naruto with quite anger in his eyes, but he decided to calm himself as Hiyashi Hyuga looked towards Naruto. So why are you here, Uzumaki Naruto? Surely you're not here to ask the Hyuga clan to support your bid as the next Hokage. You know that it is impossible. As Naruto simply smirked at that, of course, I'm here to ask the Hyuga clan to support me. As Hiyashi looked towards Naruto, and why is that? Why should we do that? As Naruto simply looked towards him. So that I will spare your Hyuga clan when I become Hokage. You already know the situation in Konoha. It is only a matter of time that I will become the Hokage. Menma is not as powerful as me, and my own faction in Konoha is becoming stronger by the day. And do you really believe that the Elder Council will align themselves with the faction of Minato? After becoming the Hokage, he ignored the advice of the Elder Council, whose main agenda was to weaken the influence of great clans, even though they can temporarily come together, but sooner or later they will go on their separate ways, and when their faction is weak, it will be my opportunity. You and I both know that Minato and Third Hokage cannot rein in Danzo Shimura, who still have ambitions of becoming the Hokage. So this is an olive branch that I have given to your Hyuga clan. With that, Naruto stood up and started to walk away as Hiyashi gritted his teeth at that. As Naruto simply looked towards Hiyashi, think about it. As after that, Naruto simply decided to leave. As Hiyashi simply scoffed at that, Naruto was unable to convinced Hiyashi Hyuga he still wanted to support Menma, and Naruto noticed that, and a small smirk came to Naruto's face. He was not here to talk with Hiyashi Hyuga. No, the main branch of the so-called Hyuga clan only consisted of 30 members, while there are over 800 members of branch family. Naruto's main goal was not the main branch. No, they only had handful of jonin. No, his main target was the branch members. Far away in the Hyuga clan, one figure was standing and looking towards Naruto, or but rather the clone of Naruto. This was the figure of Neji Hyuga, as Neji had his 8 palms pointed towards Naruto. What do you want from me, Uzumaki Naruto? Why are you here in the Hyuga clan? You are infiltrating. As Naruto simply smirked at that, do not be agitated, Neji. I have not entered into your Hyuga clan without permission. As a matter of fact, my original body is talking with your uncle, Hiyashi Hyuga. As Neji was taken aback at that, he activated his Byakugan as he noticed that Naruto's original body was in the room of the clan head. As Neji frowned at that, so why are you here? As Naruto simply smirked at that, well Neji, I'm here because I worry about the future of the Hyuga clan. As Neji looked towards Naruto and then a frown came to his face. What do you want, Uzumaki? As Naruto simply smiled at that. Well, Neji, what do you think of your life? I still remember in the Chunin exam, your strength, it was far greater than that Hinata. But how she threatened you, how she told you you were just a slave, nothing more than that. And how she took away your chance of being free and even denied you access to be a Chunin. So, what do you think of this life, Neji? Do you still want to live this life, this pathetic existence, nothing more than a caged bird? As Neji grated his teeth at that, stop talking, Uzumaki. What do you want from me? I am a caged bird, yes, and I cannot remove this seal. I already know why you are here. You want the Hyuga clan Jonin to support your bid to be the future Hokage, but that is impossible. The main branch controls everything, and even if they cannot, the interest of the clan lies with Menma Uzumaki. As Naruto simply smirked at that. Well, Neji, what if I can remove your burden? And what if I can open that cage that bounds you? And when Neji heard that, he was taken back at that. Naruto simply smirked at that. As Naruto's fingers started to shine, as strange symbols appeared in Naruto's hand. Just like that, Naruto moved with blinding speeds and within seconds, he was in front of Neji. Before Neji could even react, Naruto's two fingers touched the cage bird. And just like that, Neji could feel it. His chakra that was running through his body was moving with even faster speed. His eye power was increasing rapidly as Neji dashes towards the mirror. As he looked towards his forehead, just like that, the cage bird has disappeared. As Neji looked towards his clean forehead, as he could not believe his eyes. How is this even possible? As tears started to come from the eyes of Neji Hyuga, as Naruto simply smirked at that. As Naruto walked towards him, so what do you think of this, Neji? I can free all the members of your Hyuga clan as long as you people support me to become the next Hokage. Hyuga clan had over 100 Jonins, but the positions in Jonin Council are limited. Most of them are private soldiers, so the registered Jonins of Hyuga clan are no more than 35, equal to that of the Uchiha clan. So strength of Hyuga cannot be underestimated, but do not underestimate these 35 votes. After all, the total amount of whole Konoha Jonin is no more than 300. Putting these 35 votes will definitely be helpful for Naruto, and this will definitely tilt the balance in the favor of Naruto, as Naruto simply smiled at that. As Naruto looked towards Neji, it is up to you. I will tell you that this is your last opportunity, last chance to be freed from your cage and fly in the air. As Neji looked towards Naruto, determination finally came to Neji's mind. He was finally free from the influence of the main branch who enslaved the Hyuga clan, who make them bark like a dog. He will never accept it. As Neji simply nodded at that. Do not worry. I have already have a lot of influence in the branch family. So what do you want me to do? As Naruto simply smirked at that, as Naruto and Neji started to make their plan, and Hiyashi Hyuga was none the wiser that Naruto has taken away the entirety of Hyuga clan for himself, leaving Hiyashi Hyuga with empty promises of Minato Namakase, and time started to pass. Hiyashi Hyuga was going towards the council meeting of the elders as Hiyashi Hyuga finally opened his room and finally decided to take his seat as the head of the Hyuga clan, looking towards the elders. These are all the members of the main branch. As Hiyashi simply smiled at that, the strength of Hyuga clan is becoming stronger and stronger. Branch members know their place, and the main branch is prospering as well. As suddenly the door was opened as Hinata and Hinabi finally decided to take their seat as Hiyashi spoke up. Now, the agenda of this meeting is for the future of Hyuga clan. You already know the situation in Konoha. Uzumaki Naruto is making small moves, and lately he paid me a visit and threatened me to join his faction, but I have denied him. As one of the elders simply scoffed at that. Uzumaki Naruto may be powerful, but Madara Uchiha was powerful as well. Minato, Namikaze, and Menma are the future of Konoha, and we must all ally ourselves with the family of Hokage. As all the elders simply nodded at that, as Hiyashi simply smiled at that. We have already decided the future. Hinata Hyuga will marry in the Uzumaki clan, while on the other hand, Hinabi shall become the next leader of the Hyuga clan. As all the elders simply decided to vote and agree to that. After all, Hinata was also happy about it. After all, even though she will be married to the family of Hokage and will not become the head of the Hyuga clan, but her voice will be even louder than that of her little sister, and she will definitely be control of the Hyuga clan. So they started to vote. Finally, it came to the branch member elders, as one of the elders of the main branch scoffed at that. What are you waiting for? Do you want us to ask you on person? Vote already, damn it, you lowly slave. As the elder was mocking the other elder, the so-called elder in the council was nothing more than that, just a furniture, nothing more than that. Suddenly, the elders of the branch members started to chuckle, and then it turned into pure laughter. The elders of the main branch were furious at that. How dare this lowly elder, a so-called elder, nothing more than a branch member dog, as they were furious about it. As one of the elders spoke up, enough, how dare you laugh in the presence of the elders and the main branch? You, the dog of the branch member, must know your place. And just like that, he made a hand sign ready to show this branch member who was in charge. Even Hiyashi Hyuga was looking towards it blankly, not even caring about that the branch member elder is about to be tortured by the seal of the Hyuga clan. Suddenly, there was no reaction. Everyone was taken aback at that. Hiyashi looked towards this elder as he was confused about it, but suddenly realization came to his mind. The door was slammed open as suddenly Hyuga members surrounded all the members of the main branch. As Hiyashi stood up, what are you guys doing? How dare you attack the main branch, as the elders were screaming at that. They were furious as they tried to activate the curse mark of these branch members, but to their horror, none of the curse marks were activating. Suddenly, all the members of the branch members simply made place, and Neji Hyuga finally stepped forward. But what shocked everyone was his forehead. He was not tying his forehead to his. He did not have headband on his forehead, and to the surprise and shock of everyone, it was a clean forehead. The curse mark was absent. As Neji simply smiled at that. For years, the main branch has tormented our branch family, told us that we are inferior, told us that we are the dogs of the main branch. But now the tables have turned, Hiyashi Hyuga. Your tyranny of the main branch has come to an end. With that, all the branch members threw away their headband protectors, and to the utter shock and horror of the main branch, none of the members of the branch member had curse marks on their respective foreheads, shocking everyone there as Yashi spoke up. How is this even possible? The curse mark cannot be removed. It is impossible. As Neji simply scoffed at that. Did you honestly believe that that curse mark can enslave the branch members for eternity? No, a day would have already come. A day was bound to come when our branch member will be free from the tyranny of your main branch, and now that day has finally come. My brothers, it is time for revenge. With that, all the members of the branch member attacked the main branch. Hiyashi was taken aback at that as he tried to fight against the members. But Hiyashi had not gone to the battlefield for decades, even though he still had strength. But it was no greater than a jonin, and it did not take long for the main branch members to be on their knees as all the elders were in utter shock and fear. For years, they have tormented the members of the branch, of the side branch, and now it is time that they themselves would be tortured by them. As Neji simply smirked at that, looking towards the beaten form of Hinata and Hinabi, who were now in utter shock and fear. As Hinata finally spoke up, you cannot do this to me. I am the fiancé of Benma, the future Hokage. I am the daughter-in-law of the fourth Hokage. If you dare to touch me, all of you shall die. This actually stopped some of the members of the Hyuga clan as Hinata and Hiyashi quickly noticed that as well. As Hiyashi spoke up, you cannot defy us. We are the members and son and in-laws of the current Hokage. If you kill us, the Hokage will definitely not let you go. As Neji finally smirked at that, the Hokage should worry about himself. As this surprises everyone there, as Neji simply smirked at that, who do you think gave us the power to release the curse marks? After all, you, the main branch, has already forbid all the members of the branch family to stop learning the Fuinjutsu, and the Hyuga clan do not even know about the sealing arts. So who do you think gave us the key to open our respective cage? Hiyashi's eyes widened at that as a name came to his mind, Uzumaki Naruto, as Hiyashi cursed under his breath as Neji spoke up. The position of the fourth Hokage is already hollow. It is not. The fourth Hokage is not long for office. Sooner or later, he will be kicked out of the office, and especially the situation in Konoha. If fourth Hokage dare to move against us, we will definitely not let him do anything. As for Hinata, we can let her live, but as for the other members of the main branch main family, as Neji had a cruel glint in his eyes, for years he has tolerated the insolence of these branch members, and now it's time for revenge. And just like that, Neji moved. With each attack, one of the elders of the main branch was dying, and just like that, all the members of the main branch were already dead. As Neji looked towards Hiyashi Hyuga as well as the two daughters of the main branch, as Neji simply scoffed at that. Naruto had already given the orders to not kill off Hiyashi. He will be a useful tool in the future. As Neji gritted his teeth at that, but decided not to get rid of his so-called uncle. As Neji looked towards all the members of the main branch, it is time that the new leader of the Hyuga clan is appointed. So let us start the voting. And just like that, all the branch members voted for Neji, and Neji became the new leader of the Hyuga clan. While in the Hokage office, Minato was looking towards his close confidants as Minato simply nodded at that. So this is the plan. What do you think of it, elders? As Koharu and Hamura looked towards Minato with pretty much anger in their eyes. Honestly, that doesn't like Minato Namikaze. After taking the position of 4th Hokage, he completely ignored the advice of the elders. Even 3rd Hokage turned a blind eye to it. After all, the power that was leaving the hands of the elders was coming to the hands of Minato and the 3rd Hokage. It would not be wrong to say that the 3rd Hokage and 4th Hokage had monopolized all power in Konoha, even though they only had small faction in their hand left. And now it seemed that the 4th Hokage is in difficult situation, and the irony of the situation is that it was none other than his own firstborn, his own son, that was going against him, and they were pretty happy about the situation. It's a pity that they were unable to bring Naruto to their own factions, but this is still useful for them. As Koharu speak up, do not forget your promises of power in the future, Minato. Otherwise, we will definitely make situation worse and worse for you. As Minato simply nodded at that. As the Ambu appeared, Lord Hokage, the Jonin Council meeting has been summoned. As Minato simply nodded at that, and finally he stood up. Nenma, are you ready? As Menma stepped forward, he was already ready. But Minato had a small frown on his face. Honestly, he wanted Menma to make some achievement before he pushed for it. But Naruto is truly making a situation very difficult for Minato. So he forcefully sent Menma on several S-rank missions, low class like assassination and things like that, so that he can at least show that Menma is a cage level shinobi and show something for Johnny to vote on, while his own faction will definitely vote for Minato's son, but he still wanted to show something for Menma as well. So Minato put his hand on the shoulder of Menma. Menma, you are my son, and I believe that you will be a future Hokage, and I have faith in you. In your hands, Konoha will definitely prosper. As Menma simply nodded at that. Do not worry, Dad. I will definitely protect Konoha with everything I got. As Minato simply nodded at that, pride in his eyes as he gave a small pat to the shoulders of Menma, and just like that, they disappeared from the Hokage office. In the Jonin Council meeting, all the heads of the clans were present. All the Jonins of Konoha were present, and today they knew that what is going to happen. Today is gonna be the day when the position of the next Hokage shall be decided. As Minato finally appeared in the council room along with the 3rd Hokage and elder councils, as they decided to take their position. As Danzo Shimura after some time also arrived, Danzo had a bad expression on his face. Honestly, in his age, he still wanted to become the Hokage, but he knew that he did not have support. He will not be able to become Hokage, so he can only agree with the other Elder Council. Otherwise, he would lose all power. Only with leeching to the faction of the Elder Council, Danzo Shimura was able to survive to this day. Otherwise, the 3rd Hokage and 4th Hokage would have taken away all of his power, even taking away his root organization, and Danzo will never hand it over to Minato and 3rd Hokage. As Danzo decided to take his seat, as Minato stood up, looking towards all the clan heads as well as all the Jonin that were present here, but Minato looked towards the position of the head of the Hyuga clan, and a small frown came to his face. What is going on here? Why Hiyashi is not here? And the members of the Hyuga clan are also missing. But Minato simply shook his head at that. He has to start the meeting now, as he still believed that Hiyashi will come in no time. But for safe, he decided to send his Ambu to bring Hiyashi to the council meeting. The help of the Hyuga clan is important, otherwise they will definitely lose the position of Hokage in no time. As Minato simply smiled at that. Alright, everyone calm down. As all the Jonins looked towards Minato. Well, you guys know that I am the 4th Hokage of Konoha, but lately everyone believes that it is time that Konoha choose the heir to the position of the 5th Hokage, and I must say that you guys are right, as you know that I am a speed type ninja, and one day will come that my body will be unable to keep up with my inherent speed. So, for the future of Konoha, we have multiple candidates for the position of Hokage. Today, this Jonin meeting will help us decide the future of Konoha. You guys, as Jonin, have the right to nominate your respective candidates, and we, the Jonin meeting, the Jonin council, will vote on the matter. Suddenly, the door was opened as everyone looked outside to see that Hiyashi Hyuga was coming along with the Jonins of the Hyuga clan. As Minato smiled at that, but suddenly a small frown came to his face. Why is Neji Hyuga walking side by side with Hiyashi? But Minato did not pay too much focus to it. After all, he still had the Jonin council to worry about, as Hiyashi Hyuga decided to go towards the position where the Jonins of the Hyuga clan are standing. Suddenly, The door was once again opened as Naruto Uzumaki finally stepped inside as all the Jonis looked towards Naruto. Even those people who were not aligned with Naruto's faction looked towards Naruto in awe. Naruto's reputation has exceeded everyone's imagination over the years. His name is feared across the nations. Even the Kages of other villages feared Naruto. And people of Konoha, even though some of them were not on the faction of Naruto, but most of the people respected Naruto here. It is just that their own clan's interests come first, so they cannot side with Naruto. Like Inosuke family's heads has already aligned themselves with Minato. So even if these Jonins do not agree with their clan leader, they have to go for the interests of their respective clans. As Minato simply smiled towards the Jonins, and then he looked towards Minato with a sarcastic smirk on his face as Minato gritted his teeth at that but decided not to say anything. And just like that, the Jonin decided to go for their nominations as Minato simply looked towards the names. He already knew what was the result as he opened the names, and finally Minato simply nodded at that. Two nominations have been made. The first one is my son Menma Uzumaki, the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, the summoner of doors, the sage of the Mount Miyamoku, and the heir to the flying Thunder God technique. As Minato simply smiled at that, and finally he looked towards the other nomination as Minato also had to smile at that, and then there is my other son Uzumaki Naruto. I believe that no one needs introduction for that, as Minato simply smiled at that, the heir to the position and the power of the first Hokage. And just like that, Minato skipped over everything. And afterward, Minato went through some of the missions that Menma has done. And when it came to Naruto's side, Minato also undermined it in some way, like giving one or two examples of astronaut mission that were not that much impressive. And afterward, Minato simply looked towards all the Jonis. So it is time for voting to start. As one by one, the members of the Jonin class started to stand up. It was time for Inosuke as Shikaku Nara stood up, as well as the head of Yamanaka and Akamichi clan stood up. We, the heads of the Akamichi, Nara, and Yamanaka clan vote for the future Hokage, Menma Uzumaki, and afterward the other started to stand up, and finally their respective Jonin started to vote as well. Finally, it was time for the Hyuga clan as Hiyashi Hyuga had a bad expression on his face as Minato still had a smile on his face, but suddenly he had a bad feeling instead of Hiyashi. It was Neji Hyuga, the head of the Hyuga clan. Neji Hyuga vote for Uzumaki Naruto to be the next Hokage of Konoha. When everyone heard that, they were taken aback at that. Even third Hokage dropped his pipe. Even the Elder Council looked towards Neji as if he was a monster. While on the other hand, Danzo's eyes narrowed at that and a small cruel smirk came to his face. While on the other hand, Minato looked towards Hiyashi who was not standing up as before Minato can say anything, third Hokage spoke up. Enough. What is going on here? Neji Hyuga, you are just a Jonin of Konoha. While you can still be present here, it is not your place to vote for the Hyuga clan. As Neji simply looked towards the third Hokage as he simply smiled at that. Suddenly, he started to unwind his headband. This surprises everyone there, as all the other members of the Hyuga clan also decided to do the same. But when Minato saw the cleared forehead, his eyes widened at that in utter shock, as all the other Jonins looked towards this scene in utter shock as well, as Neji simply smiled at that. Well, it seemed that we have forgot to mention it to you, Lord Hokage. We, the Hyuga clan, had decided on a new leader for the Hyuga, and for our esteemed previous leader of the Hyuga clan, he had decided to resign. So, what do you think of it? Hiyashi-sama, as Hiyashi gritted his teeth at that and stood up. Yes, I have decided to retire, and Neji is the new leader of the Hyuga clan, as Neji simply smiled at that, and we have also decided to abolish the curse mark system, and we are now free. And the elders of the main branch were so filled with remorse and regret that they have decided to commit suicide. As afterward, everyone's lips twitched at that. They had realized that the branch members had decided to go made a coup, and just like that, the main branch has been wiped out. Only Hiyashi, I'm afraid, is left behind. As Menma could not believe his eyes, suddenly an idea came to his mind as he gritted his teeth at that. Hiyashi, Neji, where is Hinata? As Neji looked towards Menma with a bored expression on his face, Hinata-sama had twisted her ankle, she is resting in the Hyuga compound as Neji as Menma wanted to attack Neji and asked where Hinata was, but Minato gave him a signal stopping him as Minato looked towards Neji with the gritted teeth as he looked towards the direction where Naruto was sitting as Naruto gave him a small smile as Minato gritted his teeth at that. Damn it, everything is wrong. If the Hyuga clan truly voted for Naruto, everything will truly be over. The elders as well as the third Hokage had also realized the matter while the Inashikachu looked towards each other. They had a bad feeling about it. If Naruto truly became the future Hokage, all of their chips will go down the drain. As Naruto simply smiled at that, well, the Hyuga clan has already made its choice. Lord Hokage, why don't we continue? As Minato wanted to stop the meeting, but it was already too late as he clenched his fist at that his hands were shaking, and the other members, now Naruto's faction, one by one started to stand up. Minor clans who were long forgotten by Konoha, like Kurama clan and mainly the civilian part of the Jonins, one by one, they started to stand up and vote for Naruto as the voting quickly became one-sided as Minato slumped in his chair. His so-called position of fourth Hokage, it was as good as dead. And finally, the voting ended as Naruto simply started to chuckle and then it turned into full-blown laughter as he said, well, it seemed that the Jonin vote has finally completed, so it is time for counting. As Naruto simply smiled at that as Minato could barely move at this point as he gave a signal as some of the Ambu stepped forward and in front of the Jonin the voting started as finally the result was given to Minato as Minato took the paper as he looked towards the vote his hands were shaking. The votes were 160 to 140. There are only 300 registered Jonins to Konoha, while the other clans have secret Jonins, though they never let them promote a two Jonin and leave them at Chunin so that they can use this hidden strength for themselves. And now there are only 300 Jonins and Naruto has votes of 160 Jonins and Menma only have votes for 140 Jonins as Minato dropped his hand at that. It was the Hyuga clan that made the difference, the 35 votes. Well, the 5 members that were the main branch were already killed by the Hyuga clan, so this was the difference of 30 votes. If these 30 votes would have gotten to Menma, it would have increased his votes to 170 and that would have left Naruto with 130 votes. It was all over as Minato stood up and spoke up. The winner of the votes is, and the future heir to the position of fifth Hokage is. As Minato gritted his teeth at that, the name, it was just not coming out. As Minato finally sighed at that, Uzumaki Naruto shall become the fifth Hokage. When everyone heard that, they started to clap while the Inashikacho looked towards each other as Hiyashi Hyuga was slumped on his seat. Even Fugaku Uchiha could not believe his eyes. This should not be happening. They have already allied themselves with Minato. If Naruto truly became the Hokage, what will happen to their all the efforts they have done in the past? As Naruto simply smiled at that and started to move towards the position of the Hokage. As Minato looked towards Naruto with complicated expression on his face as Naruto simply smiled at that. Well then, fourth Hokage-sama, why don't you make space? You are standing on my seat. And just like that, Minato took a step back as Naruto finally decided to take his seat as the head of Konoha, the new fifth Hokage, as the Jonin vote of confidence is over. All that is required is to report to the daimyo and Naruto will become the fifth Hokage. As Naruto simply smiled at that, looking towards all the Jonins that were present here as they started to clap for Naruto, fifth Hokage-sama. As Naruto simply smiled towards everyone, and then he looked towards his so-called little brother and family and he gave them a pure smile. Well, but hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here, so hopefully you guys liked it. For the next part, the like goal is gonna be 100 likes and 20 comments, especially comments. Yeah guys, please leave some comments in the comment section because it is a great way of motivation for us and you guys give us new ideas and I try to make those stories which are given to me in the comment section. So yeah guys, see you soon. Peace.